All right, 160. All right. We've got to move right. Which one's right, X or Y? X. Is right plus or minus? Plus. So we're going to plus 5 to the X. Right? So if I plus 5 to the X, the J prime, the I prime, the H prime, and prime just means the secondary one, and what it changes into, right? Becomes what? What's 5 plus negative 1? 4. There you go, you're waking up. Okay? That breakfast made you guys fall back to sleep. Usually you're more awake. What's 5 plus negative 4?
Negative 1.
1, right? Okay, and then what's 5 plus negative 4? Yeah, same thing. Come on, people. Still 1, didn't change. Okay? Now think about this. I'm going to move it up. Up is Y or X? Y. And then if it's up, it's plus or minus? So I'm going to add 4. Up 4 means adding 4 to the Y. Okay? So what's 4 plus negative 1? 4 plus 1?
Wait, 5. Sorry.
And 4 plus negative 3?
1.
Okay? That's it. Now you graph them. 4, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's J prime.
Isn't it 5 units? This is 5.
Huh?
It's 5 units, right?
It's 5 units right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 4 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So you could have just said, okay, I'm going to just move this point 5 and up 4. Which is fine. A lot of the reasons I'm showing this is because on those other ones, it was easier just to flip them. It's easier just to make them negative and then graph them. It's a lot harder to think about it the other way. Does that make sense? This one's actually easier. This is the one that's actually easier to do just by moving it. Alright, so I would be 1, 5. 1. There we go. 5. That means it moves 5 right, 4 up. That's right. H is 1, 1. Right? And there it is. Boom, boom, boom. Easy. Okay? The next one. The sine of 15 degrees. Is this recording? Hopefully. Yes? Okay. Sine of 15 degrees. We got to think about this in radians. Think about it in radians. If I have 15 degrees, how many 15s are there in 90? Come on. 6. Yes. 6. That means there's going to be 6 pieces from here to here. How many pieces would there be from here to here? Well, yeah, the whole way would be 12. This would be another 6, right? Yeah. So this is really one piece out of 12. Right? If this were pi, right, or 12 pi, or 12 over 12 pi, right, then this piece right here is going to be 1/12 pi, or pi over 2, or pi over 12, right? Okay? So, we want to think about, well, what is that, as far as what does it equal? Okay? So then, we want to look at 15 degrees, right? And 15 degrees is going to be something, so sine is opposite over a hypotenuse, right? And this is always positive, so this has to be a positive direction, correct? Right? Mm-hmm. And so this one also would be a positive direction, right? The sine of whatever this is, in essence, minus 1, right? So this would be 11/12 pi, right? That would also be the same as sine of 15. Does that make sense? Kinda, right? Okay, and then if you're trying to find the number of sine of 15, you just put that in your my phone's over there. Put that in your calculator. What is the sine of 15? Go sine 15 is 0.2588. Now, we want to think about that. Isn't that half of 30? Wouldn't that be half of 30? Right? So if we think about that, let's say this was 30 degrees. Right? That means this would be 60, right?
Yeah.
Right? So technically, let's just, I know it doesn't look right, but this is 60. So this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, or this one, right? Where this is 1, this is the square root of 3, and this is 2, right? And then, if we think about cutting this in half, it also cuts this side in half, right? So now we're talking about a half. So the sign has changed. So now it's a half, and it's the square root of 3, right? This hypotenuse is now different because it's going to be 1/2 squared, right? Plus the square root of 3 squared, right? It's going to equal c squared. Right? And so then we have 1/4 plus 3. So 3 1/4 is equal to c squared. Right? So think about that. What's 4 times 3? Plus 1. So that's 13/4 square rooted. But what's the square root of 4? 2. So that equals the square root of 13/2. Okay? That's the new length here. Okay? Now the sine of 15 degrees is equal to the opposite, right?
The battery's getting on the camera.
Okay. Is equal to the opposite 1/2 divided by the hypotenuse, right? 13/2, square root of 13/2. So then we what? Flip it and multiply, right? So that means that's 1/2 times 2 over the square root of 13. The 2's cancel. So it's 1 over the square root of 13. What do I do to change that? Yeah, well, you take it up and you leave a shadow, right? Now, you don't really need to do that if you plug it in your calculator, right? So you plug it in your calculator and you take 1 divided by the square root of 13 is equal to...
19.
Huh?
Just kidding. It's okay, we had a moment.
Is equal to 6.
Yeah.
Okay?
We need to brighten the mood, it's kind of down in here. Everybody seems so depressed.
Would it still be?
I think it's not though. I'm not going to school. Are you really?
That's an angle bisector bisects this side.
I also I didn't mention
Yeah. We're done. Yeah.
when I was going. So she was going. And I still have like the 6 in, but you stuck up on the map and I was only turning on the big a little bit. And then I just shot and I was making all of that. And then I would take it and she's like,
So I was in the news.
basically,
she won.
well, I don't know.
Okay.
See if I can find it.
All right, the next one.
Yeah, see, I won this. Where was it?
Say it right.
And then I spammed myself so maybe I would see the picture message, and then it didn't send, so I just got deleted. But the picture message was still there, and it was still there when you were still playing the game, and she didn't even notice.
You're just playing the whole time.
Yeah, and I hear. Killings.
Can you
And I
see
got
it?
bought.
Okay, sorry. All right, so the next one, we have 150. We have 360. So how much does that make?
5
But it is positive or negative? Goes down, so it is negative. Angle bisector. I have to relook at this. These aren't coming out exactly equal. For some reason, the angle bisector is not bisecting the other side, which it should. I'm going to double check that on my geometry.